Hi there, everyone. I received a request from Jessica to do a special video. And since a lot of people probably have this question, I will answer. Well, it's actually two questions. How is it living here in Costa Rica? I wanted to make sure that you know I'm not permanently living here. I do come as often as I can, and usually I stay 2 or 3 weeks because I have business to take care of and it takes that long. For those of you who have been keeping up with the poolside discussions, you know that a Monday ago, I started working on opening the bank account. Tomorrow is Monday, the 4th, and I still don't have a bank account. Um, that's going to be a whole nother story. For people who decide to move down here, you will have the full details and what you'll need so that you won't have to go through what I went through. So I'm not living here permanently. I'm just coming to um, prepare and get businesses straightened out and whatnot. The climate here is different all over Costa Rica. We are on the East Coast, the Caribbean coast of Costa Rica. They call it the Afro-Caribbean coast because people from Jamaica and other islands were brought here back in the late 1800s, early 1900s to build railroads and take care of the fruit and whatnot. And they settled over here. So it's more of a Jamaican culture. They speak Spanish, they speak English, and some of them speak patois. But this is, part of the people around here are from the Afro-Caribbean culture. The climate over here is tropical. This is the tropics. This is like the jungle. So it gets as low as maybe 75, but as high as maybe, let's say 95. And it rains regularly, not necessarily every day, but if you live in Florida or Georgia, this is something that you're used to. March and April are their second driest time. And September, October is their driest time, which means that you get days where it doesn't rain during the day. So I've been here since the 25th, and we haven't had rain during the day. It rained a little bit, maybe about 7 or 8 in the evening for about an hour. And we've had some pretty hard rain in the middle of the night, like 2, 3, or 4. So I like it when it rains at 2 or 3 in the morning, because usually that means it's not going to rain all day. So we have not had a rainy day. Last April was an anomaly. It rained out of the 18 days I was here last April 2021. It rained all but 3 days, which was very interesting, but it's not happening this time. We've had great weather every day, and prayerfully for the rest of the trip, we will have great weather. On the other side, on the West Coast, they have more distinct seasons. They have a dry season where they have to, it's so dry that they have to be careful of fires. And then they have rainy seasons where it just rains all day, every day. In the Central Valley, I think it's a little bit more like the West Coast, but they have several different climates in this one country. You can look that up and you can see. But on the Caribbean coast, it's tropical. It's usually warm. It's very humid. If you don't like humidity, this is not the place for you. A lot of different people live here from a lot of different cultures. You got a lot of people from Europe, from the Americas, and of course the Caribbean living here. What else about it outside of the craziness of the banking system? Everybody's really nice. The food is great. They have nutrient dense food here. And I always lose weight when I'm here because the food is so nutrient dense, and my system really likes, the way the food treats my body. Usually when people come here, they're told to rent for about 6 months before moving here so that they can figure out where they want to go. You come here, you travel for a while, you go to the East Coast, you go to the Central Valley, you go to the West Coast, and just figure out where you want to have your home or your second home. That's not the way I did it. You all know I'm not really conventional. I found out about this Caribbean coast, fell in love with it, haven't looked back. I did visit The West Coast is very developed over there. They have Starbucks and Hilton's, Hyatts, and Marriott's, and Hard Rock Cafe over there. So it's really developed. The pricing of the land and the houses are pretty high. Over here on the East Coast, they have a McDonald's. They don't have any of the major hotels. It's beautiful over here. Very peaceful. When you have a lot of stress going on in your life, you know, there's a particular corner that we turn on Highway 36. Highway 36 over here on the East Coast hugs the ocean. And going into Puerto Viejo, there's a corner that you go around and you see that Caribbean Sea, and you just, you know, you're relaxed. So visiting, you know, hopefully the next time I come, maybe some people can come along, but you want to, you know, spend some time in each area, spend some time here, wherever you decide you're going to settle, spend some time there. Don't immediately buy like I did. You know, people want to rent 6 months to see if they're satisfied. I'm satisfied with what I have. We've been coming since 2018, and I can't wait to get here and don't necessarily want to leave. So I'm good where I am. And the other question that Jessica had was, how do you buy property here? It's about the same as you do at home. People from other countries, United States, can buy property. I suggest that you don't do it like I did, which was with the owner. You want to get with a realtor and a lawyer to make sure that all your paperwork is in order, and that that person that you're buying from actually does own the property. That wasn't our problem. The man did own the property, but he passed away, and so we have some extra hurdles to go through to get the deeding done, get all the stuff, all the ducks in a row that we don't know about. So if you come down here and you decide to buy something, you know, I have a real estate. Oh, Lord. Sorry about that, folks. That was interesting. I have a lawyer and a real estate agent that I deal with now that will make sure that the property that you purchase is buildable, because they have a lot of property here that is protected land. They have areas that you can't cut down the trees because they want to conserve the oxygen. So you just have to be careful not to just buy anything. Some other cautions are, make sure that wherever you buy, you're not going to have a hard time hooking up with the electricity. I heard a story of some people from Europe that bought some property off the beaten path, and they found out that it was going to be $1 million to get the electricity back to their property. So as far as building is concerned, I was told by somebody here that everybody with a hammer and a nail thinks they're a contractor. You have to be very careful about who you select to build your properties. So those are areas, a lot of things that we take for granted, then you don't want to take them for granted here, because it's very different. Their system of employing people is very different. So we're having that all worked out. We're getting a team together that will be able to build our homes to our standards, and that will be great. So we won't have to worry about getting a home and finding out that they didn't hook up the hot water. There's only cold water. I heard that story before also. So that should be about it. I mean, there's a lot more to it, but that's the general stuff. You can come down here and buy a house anytime you want. It's a good plan B. The housing over here is inexpensive compared to the West Coast. The land also, I've decided to get, we decided to get land so that we can build a community. And a lot of you already have the Middle of Paradise magazine. We sold out of those, and we'll see how things go as far as us getting you guys back informed about what we're doing with the Middle of Paradise. And I am going to sign out if I can, and I'll talk to you guys later.